Hello guys, my name is Total Warzone and welcome to another mod overview. Today we're taking a look at the Grand Campaign on Imperator Augustus map mod made by Tomahawk 2K. So this is one of those mods which is really different, really cool. When I saw this on the Steam workshop I was really like, man, I want to play this, because this is a mod I was thinking about already and I was really looking forward to see someone make it. So I'm going to dive into this mod. What I'm going to do is, basically I wrote down some key points of the mod, some strengths and some weaknesses. And I'm just going to explain them to you guys, show what I mean, to really give you a good feeling what the mod is about. So first of all, we're starting out with the main idea. Obviously, it's the Grand Campaign on the Imperator Augustus map. If you played this Imperator Augustus campaign already, you know that the map is the same scale as the Grand Campaign. Pretty much the same size and the same numerous regions, maybe a little bit different. But the position of regions and the position of provinces and the city names are a bit different. And this provides a different gaming experience, because when cities are in different positions and when provinces are split between different settlements, it really feels like something new and something new to discover in your campaign. So first of all, I want to discuss some of the new factions, because there are new regions and new regions need new factions. Some new regions are filled with current factions, so they got 2 settlements instead of 1, but some are new. Examples are here in Numidia. We have the Massili coming from the Hannibal at the Gate. In Gaul over here, the Lexovii and the coast of Gallia from Caesar and Gaul. Also here, the Tulini from Caesar and Gaul, and the Ari and the Navali in Germania. So a couple of new factions, which is really cool, something new that adds something into your current campaigns. Second of all, I think the campaign map is better. Just overall more fun to play than the Grand Campaign map. I do like the Grand Campaign more, but I do like the Imperator Augustus map more than the Grand Campaign one. So I want to explain this to you guys by looking at 3 main points. The first one is Britannia. First of all, of course, all you guys know that Britannia is a bit static, not much is happening there. Most of the time the Iceni captures the entire isle, the entire region, but nothing more. Now we also have a new settlement, which is pretty cool, but the main thing is happening over here on the coast of Gaul. It's this settlement, Juliobana. This is a game-changing settlement, because in the Grand Campaign you only have Flevium as a coastal settlement over here, and here in Britannia you have Darioritum or Namnedum in the Grand Campaign as coastal settlements. So if the Britons want to invade the mainland, they need to go like this, or they need to go like this. And this is just so, yeah, or like this, but that is really not happening that much because this settlement isn't there. This settlement makes it a lot easier for both the Britons and the Gauls to invade each other's territories, which should provide a more fun experience. If you play the Imperator Augustus campaign a couple of times, you know that the Britons are a lot more active in there. So the Britons can just do this, other way around as well, of course. So a lot more activity in this region. Second point why I think this map is better. Italia. First of all, another city, which is cool because of course the game is called Rome 2. Rome needs to be detailed in my opinion. But this is the main thing. Sicilia. A lot of people like Syracuse with the walls. And of course just Sicilia as the main unique province, and that's happening. 3 cities, Syracuse with walls. Really cool addition. I like this one. Carthage got another city over here, as you can see. So speaking about Carthage, the next point is also going about them together with Rome. So the mod maker decided to remove the Etruscan League and Nova Carthage over here, which is a good idea in my opinion. I know that Nova Carthage is not historically accurate, it's just for balancing regions, and I don't know if the Etruscan League was really active at the time, but it's a bit annoying. So now Rome starts out with 7 settlements instead of 4. Rome is struggling in the main campaign, so this could give them some more lasting power and some more power to stay in the game. Same for Carthage. They now have 1 more city in Sicilia. They also own Aleria or Alalia. More cities in Africa because of the lack of Nova Carthage. And we're also having some more cities in Iberia. That being said about Africa, by the way, Africa also has a lot more cities, like 3 more instead of 4. Some more activity over here as well. So a really nice boost to these 2 factions. I like them myself. The next point. The main thing about mods that I like, or why I hate mod, is that they need to really fit into the main game. They do not need to feel like they are mods and really different. They really need to feel, for me, that they're just so much yeah, they just fit to the main game. It almost feels like you're playing the normal game. And this is one of those mods that really has those feelings. Why? This is why, the diplomacy. The mod maker managed to copy the entire diplomacy of the Grand Campaign in here. So if we take a look at Carthage, still at war with the Tudatani, Rome still hates them and the other way around, and still Libya as client state. Same goes, for example, Athens, still a client state of Macedon. If you look at Macedon, defensive alliance with Sparta, at war with Tilis, so everything is the same, and this is really cool. So there are weird things happening early game where really not historically accurate things, like I don't know, Athens and Sparta being at war immediately, something like that. It still feels like it's the same game, but just a different map and a different experience that way. There are some problems, there are some bugs. First of all, the building system. There are no buildings at all everywhere, except for the port and the cities. It isn't a problem for me because I like creating my own settlements, and it also gives the AI the opportunity to create some better settlements instead of the starting buildings they sometimes own. So that is one different thing. The other thing is only with Rome. Auxiliary barracks, you need to build them in your provincial capital, or you can't recruit the auxiliary units basically. So instead of having the ability to build them in all regions, you need to build them in, for example, Roma itself to recruit those special units. Not that game breaking for me, and the mod maker is working on it, by the way, so it could change when you watch this. The next thing are starting armies. They are a bit weird. If you look at Iberia, for example, they start out with Celtic youths and Celtic bowmen, so that's a bit weird. Same goes for Carthage. This is quite a normal army, but over here, suddenly they have late Libyan hoplites a unit in there. Libya, which also has the Carthaginian roster, start out with levy spearmen and tribal slingers. So also Germans start out with some Celtic units. That's kind of annoying. It isn't that bad because it are only the starting units. They can recruit just their normal units, so it isn't that bad, to be honest. But early game you could see some weird units for factions that aren't supposed to have them. Starting armies are also not very well balanced. Some nations like Egypt only start out with like one general or something, and some other nations, and we're going to take a look at them, like Parthia, start out with like 1.5 stacks. So that's a bit weird, but I didn't see it as game ranking because most cities start out with the same number of armies basically. So that's really cool. So the next thing is that there are some reports that this mod is crashing after battles, but the mod maker is fixing that as we're speaking right now basically. So that should be fixed really soon. So I advise all of you to create this epic mod made by Tomahawk 2K. Links are all in the description. Well, it's kind of the same experience, but a bit different to spice up your gameplay and to refresh the game. That's the correct word. Just to refresh your main Total War Rome 2 experience. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I did enjoy playing this mod and making them, and I hope that I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.